everyone. I'm Jessica, head of research here at AGI House, and here with me right now is Wen, the engineering manager of the machine identities team at 1Password. One thing is you spent a lot of your career building applied AI, health tech, etc. What made like AI agents and machine identities like such a focus for you, a pivot for you in your career?
Yeah, so like you mentioned, super passionate about healthcare. That's where I spent my last 10 years. And what really stands out to me and how I choose, where I want to spend my time is making the right thing, the easy thing for users. So really thinking about mission-driven companies in that way. And similar to healthcare, right? Like security is such a fundamental part of thinking about healthcare tech as well. You have people with their most sensitive data, right, with healthcare data, with their credentials, with PHI, and security is paramount. Now with 1Password does a great job of the intersection of having, a super secure solution and also being very user friendly. And now in the age of AI, we want to expand kind of our profile beyond just like having credential management for you as a human. So super interesting intersection of that right now.
Yeah, it's a very exciting time, I think, for 1Password and for like the security industry overall. And I think for the audience here, I think a lot of people still think of 1Password as like, password manager of sorts,
Yes.
with some additional features, of course, but there's like that core perception. But, obviously you're here today representing the machine identities team.
Yep.
So we want to ask, like, what's been changing?
Yeah, absolutely. For the past 10 plus years or so, 1Password has done a super amazing job of securing human credentials. We're, a trusted company. Many folks know of us as the company, as being able to store your passwords safely for yourself at home and also for your enterprise. So, a fun fact, we actually started as a B2C company, like a hobby project. Our founders just built it for themselves to use because, a solution was missing in that. And then it kind of extended and became a more of a product that people could purchase at a pretty low rate, I would say. And then it's only more recently that we've expanded to B2B. But now in the age of AI, there are credentials that we need to secure beyond just passwords, usernames, and passwords, right? There's machine workloads, there's API keys, and all these things that we need where AI agents are asking for these things. And we don't want it to just fly into the context and be vulnerable in that way.
Yeah, it's incredible to think about how the B2B transition is relatively recent. I feel like so many companies and enterprises, like we know, use 1Password.
Yeah.
So it's incredible. And of course, like with this transition, kind of leads into the next question, which is like, why is it important that 1Password is, in partnership with AGI House? Why are you guys sponsoring this Agent Identity Build Day?
Yeah, super excited to be here with AGI House, and thank you for having us. We want to be here at the heart of where everything is happening in AI, and this is an awesome opportunity for us to, be part of the community. We want to learn about what amazing things people are thinking about, want to use cases that people want to solve for, how people are thinking about agent identity today, not just maybe inside our own company bubble. And kind of like I mentioned, we're heavily focused on enterprise, but sometimes at the heart of it, the excitement of the builders themselves, building for themselves, is what moves technology forwards. So really happy to learn about what people are excited for, all the things that are going to be built today, having conversations with folks. I have a few people from my team here today. They're having a blast in this beautiful space that you have here, having conversations with folks that are attending.
Yeah. One earlier was just enraptured in a conversation about a lot of kernels, I think. This was very, very cool. A lot of hot takes all around. And I guess like speaking of participants, what are you most excited about participants, building out today? Or maybe like what are you excited about them discovering things that they maybe haven't thought about yet?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of different ways that people could build today, right? Like, I think what a common and popular use case that we're seeing is in the financial space. So that's something that as I walk around, folks are thinking about. Like, if you give agents money, what happens? There's protocol for agent-specific spending today that they can use, but then, what about chargebacks? All the complicated things that companies like Stripe and other financial companies are thinking about when humans are making these transactions. Have to think about. It gets even more complicated when you have agents involved. Who's responsible? Who's accountable? There's other aspects of it where people are thinking about how to solve their own personal problems, like a personal chief of staff. I heard some ideas around that, where I would love to hear a solution that can, kind of manage my life a little bit better and in an autonomous way. I hear some folks who have OpenClaw running for themselves in some capacity. I would love to see what's happening there. I think, agent swarms, agent delegation, there's so much creativity that can be had here, and from folks learning from each other, not just like talking to 1Password, and also folks building with 1Password. We've given folks developer tools that we have publicly available. People are signing up for a free trial and talking to us to see what they can do with what we have available today. Looking forward to seeing what gets built.
Yeah, there's a lot of really cool, exciting products that 1Password has. And I think there's like a common theme that we're focused on across like builders, the products that you're releasing, et cetera. It's like the idea that AI agents don't behave like humans. They behave a little differently. And so I'm wondering, from an identity and security perspective, like what's different?
Yeah. So AI agents are very different from the machine workloads that we are used to in the past. When developers write, code in the past, everything was deterministic for the most part. You tell the machine to do exactly what it should do, and it does it. We have logs for it, but with agents, it's non-deterministic. It acts on behalf of you sometimes. It can spawn another agent. It can continuously spawn additional agents, and there's several issues that can continue there where we already have challenges with long-lived credentials, agents taking your user credential and coming up with its own way of how to use it and to solve its problem. It can get very creative and not do exactly what you intended for them to do by kind of abusing the access that you have, right? Like someone I was talking to today, they work as an infrastructure engineer. So being in infrastructure, you already have a lot of the keys to the kingdom. So if you're building an agent at your company, and it has all the same access that you do as an infrastructure engineer, if you're not very specific in exactly what you're asking it to do and not do, then it's going to go do something very destructive and something that you're not prepared for it to do.
Yeah, the possibilities are very daunting sometimes for like the risks on the other side of things. And when you talk about non-determinism, in the context of AI agents in general, it's already a big problem. And as one can imagine, in multi-agentic systems, it's probably an even larger problem. So for multi-agent systems, like what are some of the risks that you are foreseeing, that 1Password is foreseeing and building solutions against?
Yeah, I think the key part here is a delegation chain, right? When we have, when we're thinking about user delegated agents, one is you're kind of imagining Jessica's personal agent is just one layer removed. But what happens when agents create more agents. Agents are creating teams and teams of agents. Who is responsible at that point? When it's a few layers deeper, should you, Jessica, be responsible for this one agent like 5 layers down that is doing something that was unintentional? And these are the type of problems 1Password is thinking through, and how to both restrict that in a way that makes sense, but also have auditability and revocability. Is that a word? And to kind of stop the buck and unwind from there. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. And I think like further along on this topic too, we saw yesterday that you guys published on your blog something about agent identity architectures, which is super interesting. So could you tell us, for the audience too, the different, agent authority models and kind of just how 1Password is thinking about these?
Yeah, absolutely. This was my first blog post for 1Password, so super exciting. But yeah, how we're thinking about this is the 3 authority models of everything that gets built in the world of AI agents. So that is, you can have something be delegated, bounded, or autonomous. And in those 3 authority models, there's the 2 dimensions. It can be local or remote. So what it means is, for delegated, you're acting on behalf of a user. For bounded, it's more traditional, where it's operating like a CI/CD pipeline, where it stops and ends. And then autonomous is kind of what we're talking about in the form of like OpenClaw. It runs on its own. It doesn't really look to human in the loop or anything like that. And then for all 3 of these models, you can have it operating locally, purely on your user's device, which you can do today with Claude and other models, or remote, so operating like in a Daytona or other sponsor, or externally. So in the context of 1Password, how this is really a helpful framework for us is, and for the community at large, is this is how we're thinking about the problem sets of what category problem that we have to work with, and 1Password is solving for each of these cases. So with 3 authority models and 2 dimensions, there's 6. So we're doing 6 things here that can solve all of your problems.
Okay, there's a lot. So really recommend you check out Wen's blog. It's a very good read. And I think coming a bit towards the end, we'd love to hear, we previewed a little bit, but what are the tools from 1Password that builders at this hackathon today have access to? And, kind of, if you could preview for us, like what's coming down the pipeline?
Yeah, absolutely. So things that people have access to today, that, we've shared with the builders as well, our CLI, our SDK. You can also build with codecs. So what's wonderful about our CLI and SDK is, as you're building with agents today, using 1Password, we will never share your credential with the agents directly themselves. So we have end-to-end encryption, and your credentials are completely outside of the context for the agent. More to come. Credential brokering is now in private beta. So this is the ability to broker a credential at runtime. So it's something where we're doing authorization, authentication at runtime to make sure that all the right access is exactly the level that you need when this happens. And then what else do we have going down the line?
So much.
So much.
Oh my gosh.
We recently acquired a company called Apono, which is super exciting.
Yep.
So not only do we have the capabilities that we have today, Apono gives us the ability for just-in-time. Wow, I'm losing the word here. Yeah, just-in-time brokering. Yeah.
It's very exciting. Congratulations to the 1Password team on the acquisition. I think it's like,
Yeah.
it was a lot. It was a big day, right? It was like the credential brokering got announced, and then the same day it's like Apono acquisition also got announced, and super exciting time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you guys do any celebrations around the office or?
Super exciting time. We timed our private beta to be that week, so
Okay.
a lot of fanfare in the office. I know folks from the leadership team were in Tel Aviv and in New York in the offices for Opono, and super exciting for the rest of us learning about how we can kind of speed up our roadmap to the areas that we were excited about. So.
Yeah, for sure. And I think to wrap up in our conversation today, if there's any one thing that the builders could leave this build day from and take away with them, like what would it be?
Yeah, trust is a super important part of building for this AI world. If it's something that you're interested in, super interested in, come chat with us, chat with me. We're always hiring exciting, wonderful people. And 1Password wants to be more involved with the community at large. Something actually that I forgot to mention here is that part of the agent architecture that we're putting out, part of our intentions is to kind of give back to the community in our thought leadership. We want to put out some specifications to IATF in partnership with the community at large. So not just within 1Password, but talking to other companies, because once we have really solid standards and protocols in the space, that's when we can have real interoperability between companies and have a solution to this challenging problem that we're facing today. And you'll definitely see more from us from that in our blog. So, definitely keep coming back to see what exciting things are in store. But yeah.
We're excited. All right. Thank you so much for Wen joining us today. We will definitely make sure to check out the blog and all the other cool things coming down the pipeline.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Jessica.
Thank you.